Hey, what's up? Hey, hold up. I think I'm gonna take off this like coat. I think it makes me look a little stupid. Oh my god. Maybe I should have not started this yet. Maybe I should have waited. Okay. What is up? Hi. What is up? I am in the movie theater parking lot, as always, waiting for, I guess I should, okay. Hi. Hi. I am in the movie theater parking lot, as always, as expected. I'm waiting for, I think it's 6:10 that this movie's supposed to start. It's currently 5:22, and I'm gonna go see, God, what was it called again? I don't know. It's, maybe I'll put the, like, poster up on here. We'll see. Because I cannot remember it for the life of me. Oh, my hair looks worse down right now, doesn't it? Anyways, how are you all doing? I hope well. Today I'm just gonna kind of ramble because I've been thinking a little bit. And I don't know, instead of writing them down, I'm just gonna say them out loud to y'all. So, I have been thinking. And, okay, this is probably all gonna sound like stupid, and it's gonna be like stupid and like deep, you know? But, I don't know, I just have thoughts. So, lately, especially last night I had this whole moment where I was like, I don't sit in silence enough and think. And I was driving home from a friend's house, and I just didn't put music on because I was leaving, and I was like, I do not sit in silence ever, and I think that is an issue that I have. I think that is a flaw, that I just don't sit with my own thoughts ever. I think that's a huge flaw of people nowadays, like a lot. I think that's one of the reasons that people are so, like, awful. People are awful. That's, okay. This is gonna sound stupid, so if I sound like stupid and pretentious, you can let me know. I don't want to sound that way, but I've been thinking about it, and I realized I don't sit with myself and think enough. Like, I don't just sit and reflect all that often. I always have something going. Even when I am, like, journaling and, like, trying to reflect, I have something playing. I constantly have a form of stimulation or distraction, you know? And I don't just sit at peace. Of course, I'm not psycho. There are moments, but it's, like, not enough to be a normal person, I think. I think that's one of the big things that people have nowadays, that people do not sit and reflect and think about their own actions and their own choices. Sounds stupid. Complex thought is one of the most beautiful parts of what it means to be human. Being able to have complex thought and thinking is one of the things that makes us people and puts us in a different category than just animals, you know? And the things that I find so beautiful about humanity and what I think are the most, like, important human aspects, all of them break down to complex thought. And it's really sad how many people just do not sit and think. Like, just do not have complex, like, problem-solving skills, or just live in a very strangely superficial, surface-level life. Which, of course, those are the people that are always happy. Not to say that you can't be happy if you live your life on a deeper level. Nothing replaces being dumb and happy, you know? Like, that is a very specific way of living, where people are just straight up like, I'm always happy. It's not normal, but those people are living very much on, like, a surface level of life, which makes me really sad. Anyways, another thing that I think is very beautiful and what makes us human is ironically something a lot of people lack now, but I'll phrase it in the way, our ability to have emotional intelligence. Humans are a very emotionally intelligent creature, and that is what separates us. That is one of the most beautiful, that is one of the most beautiful parts of being human, is the emotional intelligence and being able to connect with others. Even though a lot of people now lack any form of emotional intelligence, and they don't, that's really fucked up and really sad. Because people just don't give a fuck what others are thinking, or like how they're feeling, which, not to say that you always have to care about how every single person is feeling and what they're thinking, like that's not what I'm saying, but caring about each other's feelings is important, whether you want to admit so or not. It is important, because we're social creatures and we are supposed to be in community, and you have to take care of each other, and it's a back and forth, and you can't always just be like, well, I don't give a fuck what anybody's feeling, like I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks, what anybody feels, like I don't fucking care. Like that's not a way to live. The people that live on such a surface level, I don't know how they could ever be satisfied with life. So I'm like, this is not at all linear, and I can already tell. But complex thought and emotional intelligence are like two of the most base parts of what it is to be human, and tie so directly into things like I don't want to sound pretentious, but things like the art. It is the base of it is complex thought and emotions, and you need to be emotionally intelligent in any way to put what you don't even need the words for it, but to put what you are feeling out into a medium. It doesn't have to be spoken word, like you can sing, you can dance, you can, whatever. It takes a form of emotional intelligence to be able to do that. And I'm gonna sound like art is the most beautiful thing about humans. I think that is like the most glorious aspect of being human, and that it is a privilege to be human, if for nothing else, to experience art. God, I sound so pretentious. I just truly, really, really, really mean that to my core. Like, separating all of the chaos from the world, and like separating the political world right now, because I live in America. I feel like everybody knows how awful it is right now here politically. I'm so sorry. Separating from all of those like hardships with the base of being human. Art is what gives us meaning. It is what will outlast us. If you want a legacy, don't get a dynasty of like billionaires. Like, make something that is meaningful. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm gonna like switch into a different thing. I have not taken my Adderall today. One of the other very beautiful things about being human is these meaningful connections and conversations. I had written a list down yesterday of just like, I was a little high making pasta, just writing some things down, and I wish I brought the notebook with me, but I think the list was something like art, community, conversation. Just, those are the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful aspects of being human. And I'm gonna sound like such like a grandpa. With where we're at in the world right now and where we are at technologically, though, sure, we can speak to anyone, basically. Obviously not anyone, but we have access to so much information and so many people all at the like snap of your fingers. Like, you can, it's in a way it's supposed to make us all come together, but it actually separates us all. You know, not a hot take, a very obvious take. But I think that the constant stimulation from like social media and our phones and technology has created a barrier between reality and then, not that the internet isn't reality, it's just a different part. It's its own little world, but it feels like it has built a wall between this world and reality. And I'm so scared for Generation Alpha, who's maybe never it's gonna take them, they're gonna have to put so much work in to be able to enter reality, you know? But God, I sound so stupid. I wish I collected my thoughts better before I started. I just didn't. I feel so stupid. Because of how brain rotted almost everybody is now, it's hard to have a meaningful conversation with somebody, you know? Hold up, I'm trying to make this like look okay. Okay, the camera quality definitely just shifted, but you know, whatever. Okay, people do not have meaningful moments and conversations anymore. Since the big event at the end of May, at the beginning of June, I had a very big event happen where my life I got kicked in the back of the knees, the rug got pulled out under me, and my entire life and world changed, and I didn't have anybody. I even had very large issues with my family. I have one of them that wishes me dead. There's been a lot of that I've sunk very, very hard into a hole of being chronically online, and even when I'm not online, just being so separate from the world. I mean, I'm unemployed still. I have an interview, but I've spent these months unemployed, alone, and distracted. There's only a few conversations I have had within the past 6 months, 5-6 months now, that have been meaningful. And that's not to say that I haven't had conversations which I've enjoyed, because sure, I have. But there are so few that were meaningful conversations, and that's so sad to me. And I don't even think I could remember all of them. Like, they're so gone in my brain, because instead of, after having these conversations, instead of sitting with it and thinking about it, I just would continue and immediately put something on to fill the brain. And I've got a whole laundry list of issues, and I really understand needing that stimulation. Like, I got ADHD and a whole fucking laundry list. It's a lot, but I truly understand the need for stimulation and it being difficult to sit in silence. I think sitting in silence and sitting with yourself and reflecting is a skill you have to build. And not even just like you can get the skill, it is a muscle you have to continuously flex and like work on. It's if you're someone who can like meditate and sit and like just think, but then you start going heavily chronically online and stop doing it, I don't believe that it will be as easy for someone like that to start meditating again. And it being the same, I think when you stop working on it and stop doing it, it's just something that is a constant battle and build, especially with how we live right now. Because before all of this, you didn't really have a choice. You know, there wasn't anything to do sometimes. There were just quiet moments that you couldn't always fill. And I think that's why people, obviously there's been insane things in the past that are cruel. I think some people had more empathy in a different way, because, you know, I hate to be one of those people, because the past has an insane amount of issues, and horribly, like, ugh. But at least people sat and thought to themselves, you know? It's really, really easy to not sit. And how sad is it? Sitting and thinking, complex thought is a fundamental part of what it is to be human, and I'm not trying to say I'm any better than this. This is something I truly need to work on. I'm awful with it. And I think about it and I'm like, who am I to deprave myself of one of the wonders of being human? Who the fuck am I to refuse myself that beauty? It has affected me in negative ways. I've become hollow. I lack so much substance. I think I can be a very thoughtful and wonderful person, but it's this brain rot crumples any personality and any emotional intelligence, and it just I can't write. I love writing. I love telling stories. I haven't been able to look at a piece of paper and write something down in months. I just can't do it. And it's like, that's what I think I was put on this earth to do, is to tell stories. And I can't even sit and fucking do it. Because I can't sit with myself and think, who the fuck am I to deny myself this? You know what I mean? I don't know if I sound crazy or like, I don't know. I don't know if this makes sense at all. But I just feel like I've been so cruel to myself. There's many bad things I have done. And I've had issues with self-harm and like cutting and suicidal thoughts and all that type of thing. And I am kind of realizing, I think another form of self-harm is never sitting with myself. Even when it's awful to, even when I don't want to be in my own brain and I hate listening to it, maybe if I sat and listened to my brain without acting on things that, like impulses that are going to ruin my life, and just sitting there and thinking, just for a little bit, I think it'd be very beneficial if I pick a day of the week, or try to at least once a week just set my phone aside and stop. Just not look at it. I think it would be very beneficial to me. I haven't like read a book in like a few months. That's really sad. You know, a lot of Americans are either illiterate or like functionally illiterate. Like people don't read at all. And that's really sad. That's really sad. My mom had showed me this essay my dad wrote years and years ago about how his connection to literature and reading and what books do for him. And it's a great essay that they really do spark these worlds to him, and it's so real to him, and it makes me really sad that there's no one, not that there's no one, but it's just so uncommon now for someone to really appreciate literature like that, you know? I don't know. Maybe this is my English major parent, like my English major parents' like influence of talking. What's made me really sad is I've watched my mom kind of deteriorate almost into like an iPad kid, like constantly having multiple screens, and I haven't seen her write anything in God knows how long. I haven't seen her do anything. That makes me really sad, because this is a woman who used to be very passionate about it. I mean, like, she loved this stuff. And it makes me sad because she claims to love writing and I haven't seen her write anything in years. And it could be the worst thing. I could read something she wrote and be like, this is so fucking awful, and I would be so happy to read it. I'd be so happy that she was writing. And it makes me sad because how many people sit there and are so addicted, because it's an addiction, and it's a life-crushing addiction is what our phones are. How many people have such bad phone addiction that they're never going to create anything or do anything they ever wanted to do in this life? How many people are just gonna let God? I feel like I just am not making sense at all. Then I'm like struggling. So I'm like, what the fuck? My phrasing of everything is horrid. Man, I feel silly. I'm also just hungry. Anyways, how many people are out there that do not live a real life because they are so addicted to their phone that they can't set it down and really live? I mean, these years, I'm 20. I'm gonna be 21 next June. But I'm 20 and I feel like I've wasted so much time. I feel like so much of my childhood was wasted on social media. I don't wish to relive my childhood because I would be such a different person. But it does make me sad that I can't look at me as like a little baby child and go, you don't do this. Sit with what you feel. Think about what you feel. And go and see people. Go and make real friends. With the... I'm gonna get really sad. Because now I'm gonna go into like the friend thing. I think another effect of this has become a lack of empathy from people. And so it's very hard for people to make friends. It's very hard for me to make friends. I struggle to keep friends long term. And I know that's not uncommon, but people just lack empathy for each other. And not being able to have real connections and conversations, just stupid like meme talk or just like whatever bullshit that doesn't matter, like not a real conversation. I mean, do you even really know your friends? Like, do you even really know them? Like, do you know what they enjoy, but what they really enjoy? Because do you even know what you like? Do you know what you truly enjoy? What in this world makes you happy? What in this world that no matter what, just you actually enjoy? Not what you feel like you should enjoy, not what people have told you should enjoy, not what you think you're enjoying in the moment. Things that you genuinely, to your core, enjoy. Do you know what your friends enjoy? Like that? Do you know what their actual dreams are? Do you know what your actual dreams are? What do they dislike? And truly dislike. Not because they're told to dislike it, not because it's how their peers tell them to, not because it's expected, but something that truly upsets them and they dislike. Do you really know what you dislike? And the things that you dislike, do you dislike them? Or are you just told that you should dislike them? What is the reason that is true to you? What is your core reason for not liking something? Or do you just not like it because you're not supposed to? At least you think you're not supposed to. Isn't that the question, huh? Do I sound like an asshole? I feel like I sound stupid. And I'm like skipping every point, and I sound like a pretentious 20-year-old and stupid, and I'm getting insecure about it. So I'm gonna stop. I should have collected my thoughts, and now I'm embarrassed. I think I'm just hungry. I just need to eat. Sorry.